to run that bass low.
Hey guys, what's going on? VT here, and this is episode 4 of the Vocally Venomous podcast. And it is a nice Saturday afternoon. I'm chilling, ready to bring you guys some news, some good deals and everything. And it's just, it's been a slow week though, honestly. Like, I was looking over my list here and I'm like, okay, cool, that's cool. Oh, I guess that's it. Well, okay. And that happens from time to time, especially with what's going on now, as I'm sure you all know by this point, is next week is the big announcement from Sony. I'm going to get this out of the way right now, obviously. Like, the 20th, 6 p.m. Eastern, is Sony's big event, really. And that's when everyone's saying they're going to announce the PS4, which is probably what's going to happen. They released another video recently on the, See the Future. It's a new video, Evolution, titled whatever, and it basically just talks about their past, where they came from, how they started up the whole Sony computer entertainment business deal, and that just proves it more. I don't want to say proves, but hints towards it more that the PS4 is probably going to be announced this coming week. And just so you guys know, I will be doing I will cover that. Hopefully, I'm not sure if I'm not going to do anything live, but if I'm going to watch it and record my reactions over it, or do a recap, I might do both. Either way, look for it Wednesday night. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get that out Wednesday night for you guys. So Thursday morning, you guys can, look at it, check out, see what's going on, see what I think about it. Leave me some comments, let me know what you guys think about it and everything. Hopefully there will be some good stuff, some pictures we can see, what it looks like and all that sort of stuff, if that is the case, which probably is. So make sure you look out for that this coming Wednesday. It's the 20th, and it's going to be good stuff. But let's get into it right away with a few things I got here for this week. This is going to be a short podcast, so that's all right. First off, The Last of Us got delayed, and that isn't really uncommon in the video game industry. Big exclusive title like that getting delayed for some more polishing. It was supposed to come out sometime in May, I believe it was, and now it got pushed back to June 14th officially, I believe, sometime in June around there. Really, I'm okay with it. Like, I don't know, a lot of people get upset when games get delayed. They're like, oh no, you promised us this day. I'm like, no, yeah, what are you talking about? They want to make the game better for us. Why are you going to argue about that? It's just, if they need to polish it, they need to polish it. They don't want to give you an unfinished game, because then they're going to bitch even more about, oh, it's broken, this doesn't work, I have to download a 2 gigabyte patch, something. This is definitely good, and I'm looking forward to the effort that they're really putting into seeing that come together at the end, because I probably will buy that game, especially with the multiplayer feature. It's going to be great. Naughty Dog does great stories. Game looks amazing graphically. It's, in multiplayer aspects, just going to add so much more to it too, replayability for sure. So definitely just don't discredit it at all. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be good, even better now for sure, especially since we can tell they're putting a lot of work into it. So now that that's out of the way, all the other things are good things, really. I mean, that is a good thing, but they're definitely good things. The first of which is really cool, and I love when game companies team up and do this with other companies. It's a Gears of War Judgment promo, and a lot of people have done this in the past, companies, whatever. I remember they did something like this for, obviously, every single fucking Black Ops game. They've done it for Halo 4, they've done it for, even God of War 3, which was really cool, because that's not as widely known as an exclusive, but it was sweet. And so this promo is pretty... It's this is like a one-time thing, I guess. It's partnered with Brisk and Walmart. So you go buy, Brisk juice, tea, whatever like that. You can find it at Walmart, obviously, and you get an exclusive in-game skin, which is pretty awesome. It's not even like, you get a cool wallpaper or something. Like, this is actually something that you can enjoy throughout the entire time you're playing the game, and it's obviously. Not everyone's going to have it, because this does end March 3rd, so go out and grab it. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm not sure, sometimes you have to get an X amount of points or something like that. This just might be go get the code, redeem it. Which, not the smartest promotion on their part for, getting people to buy Brisk and shit, but, I mean, it'll work. It's great. You get it's usually skins like that are like $2 or $3, which is probably the same price as Brisk, so, I mean, whatever. Hop on that shit. It ends March 3rd. Gears of War in-game skin. Awesome. Another deal that you WiiU Monster Hunter lovers might want to look out for is if you buy the 3DS and the Wii U version of Monster Hunter 3U from Amazon, you get $20 off, which is pretty sweet. I don't think there's actually, unless you're looking for like a super bundle or something, they've got some of those in Europe. There really aren't any other pre-order incentives anywhere else. Like I looked on GameStop, and they usually have something there, but they don't. So this is a good incentive to buy from Amazon. Of course, if you do already have them pre-ordered, you're gonna have to exit, get them out of your cart and restart. Just add them both to again, but and you get the $20 credit for it. Pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Because granted, the Wii U is $60, and the other one's what, like 40, I believe it is, 40 or 30. So saving money. Definitely got to hop on that, especially since you're probably buying the console for just those one games. But that's a story for another day. Some other things dealing with the Wii U. Nintendo had a press conference earlier this week, and I wasn't able to really tune into the whole thing. I did catch a few recaps going around, and there was a lot of generic things you expect. Games that we've seen come out for a while, that they've announced and stuff like that, and just things you obviously just like, okay, well that's no new actual news, like that's just anticipated. However, there was some pretty cool things. First off, if you buy a new 3D XL with either Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity, either one of those games, and a new 3DS Extra Large, Jesus, you get a free digital download game, which is really awesome. And it's not like a cheap game. Like, they're legit games. So you're basically, it's a great time to buy that handheld, because you're going to get a free one. The list is right here. It's Super Mario 3D Land, Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, Art Academy Lessons for Everyone. Personally, I would pass on that. Freaky Forms Deluxe, Your Creations Alive, or Star Fox 64 3D. Definitely good games, except for the Art Academy, whatever. But like Star Fox 64 3D, Super Mario Land, Professor Layton, yeah, those are great. Like, I would buy it. I mean, if I had the money just to throw around, and I'd probably wait and pick up Monster Hunter with it too. But that's a good deal right there. You're saving like $40 to $60. And of course, don't hop on it right away. This promotion does start March 21st and ends April 30th. So you got like, a month and a week, 5 weeks in there to grab this. But if you like, I don't know, want to celebrate Easter, get someone an awesome gift, or if you trying to get your girlfriend into game or something, you can get her buy her the fucking Art Academy game, something. I don't know, whatever. It's a free game, so good stuff. But speaking of Luigi, as I said, that's one of the games you have to get in there. Again, sorry, just go over it. You have to buy a new 3D XL with a copy of Luigi's Mansion or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And Nintendo apparently is really pushing for Luigi recently. I think they realized they milked as much Mario as they possibly ever could, and Luigi's also a character in that series. Right? Surprise. So they announced a new Mario game. Well, really, a new Luigi game for 3DS, and it's called Mario and Luigi Dream Team. And there isn't much known about it yet, which is alright. I mean, it's just practically just announced, so whatever. But it takes place in Luigi's dreams, and not the most original concept around, but nonetheless, it's pretty sweet. Like, they're kind of changing things up a little bit. Apparently, you're going to be able to interact with your 3DS and kind of shake things up in this world, and obviously they can go as crazy as they want. It is a Mario game, but also it's in a dream, so that's pretty sweet. Definitely keep a lookout for that. I'm obviously picturing some sort of co-op or something going on in there. I think they're going to be able to have a lot of fun with it, and it's good that they're kind of switching up. I mean, Nintendo, obviously they're known for these Mario games and stuff, and yeah, they've kind of milked it. They've used like all the ideas they can for focusing on Mario. He's always been the main character, and not always, but pretty much. They've got like Luigi's Mansion back in the day, and everyone loved that. But now they're like realizing, oh, that actually worked. Let's try doing more of this. Great idea. And I agree. If you find something that works for you as a company, like, you might as well keep doing it. That's just called good business. And so they're sticking with the same thing, but they're mixing up enough where it keeps you interested, but it's something new. And that's definitely sweet. And again, they're expanding this more also in that the whole event, Nintendo event, they announced some new Super Mario Bros. U DLC, and they're calling it the new Super Luigi U, which, again, Luigi theme, and it's not going to be out for a while. It's going to come out later this year, so don't get your hopes up right away. But basically, they're making an entire new game in this download content. Like, that's just crazy. Usually you have like a few maps or something, and it's pretty sweet. They're saying that it's going to be so large of a software pack that they're basically going to make it a new game focused around Luigi as the main playable character. Which, again, Luigi, great idea, really cool, especially since you're basically getting a new game for a game that you already have. Think about that. It's going to be sweet. I'm a little worried about the price, though. I mean, with how much work they're putting into this to come out later this year, how much they're calling it a new game, how much are they going to charge for this DLC? Because not many people are going to want to sit there and be like, okay, well, this is essentially going to play somewhat similar or at least very similar, because it is on that game. Like, it's supposed to be like that game. It's just you're playing with Luigi in a whole new storyline and stuff. So how many people are really going to want to buy it if they're not Super Mario fans and everything, which they probably are if they do have it. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, if they put the price at the right pocket, man, that could be a big seller. And of course, you've seen this with other games too, like the Game of the Year editions, where you buy the game and it comes out with it comes with the new DLC or the recent DLC or something like that. They can do this with the Super Mario Bros. And you don't see that for Wii, like, ever, because the games that come out for Wii, with a few exceptions, of course, don't really have a lot of download content and add-ons. I mean, yes, of course, there's the Rock Band and, Call of Duty, whatever, but the exclusives to Wii, I can't think of many that really have that. So it's really cool that, maybe this will be like a greatest hits for the Wii U, and you can buy it for like $40 and get like the extra download content, which is basically like 2 games for $40 or something. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm saying that, something like that. And that's really cool. So definitely keep an eye out for all those things. Obviously, they're not happening right away. It's going to take some time. But if you like Luigi, I mean, definitely sweet. Definitely going to be a lot of fun, especially if you already have the game and you already like it. More in the news of DLC. Black Ops 2 DLC got solidified. Obviously, this is for everyone besides Xbox 360, because you guys are better than all of us, and you already have this. This is the Revolution DLC. So now PlayStation 3 and PC players can enjoy it when it comes out. It's going to be out in about 2 weeks-ish, February 28th. It's going to be $15 like all other overpriced Call of Duty DLC. Although this one, I'm not going to lie, it packs a little bit of a punch. It's going to come with new maps, Hydro, Grind, Downhill, and Mirage. And obviously those are all for online, and I haven't looked into it. I mean, I don't have the game because of a lot of reasons I'm not going to get into, but it's pretty standard, four maps. And the cool thing, which I like, is they are releasing another zombie map with it, which, totally awesome. I love me some zombies, but I read it and it's the Doris zombie map, which, if I remember correctly, is not new. So I guess you're just getting another map that you've already played a lot on, which of course it could be. With the new zombie modes, it's probably mixed up a little bit, which is going to make it a lot of fun. But I really want to see, I love some zombies, and I really want to see more zombie shit with it, not just revamped, because at the same time, yeah, it's going to be fun, but in a week, you're probably going to be done with it, and you're like, yeah, that was great. Okay, back to multiplayer, like always, and playing the same style maps. It is what it is. One thing that they are doing to improve this, which is pretty awesome, is the new zombie mode Turned, where you become the zombies, which I think is really awesome. I don't know how it works. Obviously, I haven't played it. I'm a 360. I don't have the game, but they're mixing it up. A little cliche, not gonna lie, my personal opinion. It's just like, oh, let's just, like Halo's done this forever, and let's just, have you guys be the zombies. Boom. Okay, cool. I want to have, like, some crazy new modes, or, like, new weapons or something. I want to see something fucking ridiculous. Or like they did with the original Black Ops, where they had new maps and that were really, different. They had, I don't know. It was really cool. I do like what they're doing. I think they could be a little more creative with it, in my own personal opinion. But I guess I'm a little biased. So it is what it is. Keep an eye out for it. $15, February 28th. Now let's get into some of the juicier stuff. PlayStation 4 rumors. Some images surfaced earlier this week in relation to the new PS4 controller. Now, you should be seeing these right now. There's two images of them, and I don't know. This is mainly from IGN. They're saying it's a trusted source says it's a prototype. Now, okay, sure, I guess I can believe that. I get, every company has their own trusted sources that, prove to be reliable or something like that. And now they're going so far as saying, yes, it actually is. It's confirmed. Before the event on the 20th, which, I'm one of those guys who are like, okay, I'm not going to believe much. I'm not going to say anything, but much until it's officially announced by, like, the company, And this controller, I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't do it for me. Like, it's too... I like how Sony has kept the traditional controller, throughout all of this. They've changed it, made it obviously a lot better, adapted wireless and everything to the PS3. But this thing just looks awkward as hell. Like, okay, you've got the new, the joysticks, the analog sticks there. They obviously have kind of revamped those so your thumbs don't slide off them very much. But they look smaller and, I don't know, like further down to me, and that might just be the angle, but they don't look like terribly comfortable. I'd rather have they have those controllers in the analog adapters and stuff where you can like flip them on there, and those look comfortable. These just look awkward, like just really awkward feeling, and obviously you're gonna have to get used to it, but it is what it is. And then of course you also have, what really distracts me is that the D-pad on the left there, like it looks so sunken in. Just from that angle, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, I like to be able to really feel it and go to it, and that just feels like it might be too smooth. Which again, that could be a good thing. It might be too smooth. It sounds like I'm complaining about something that's getting improved, but maybe it's just the fact that it's different. Also, the action buttons there, X, square, triangle, and O, they look a little further apart or a little smaller, which again might be alright. I think they need to be a little bigger just to fit the controller, because the whole controller as a whole really looks kind of wider. Looks like they're trying to make it more like an Xbox 360 controller, a little more ergonomic, maybe. I don't know. Just the fact that the grips down at the bottom, they don't concave as much. They're wider as they go out, and maybe you're supposed to be able to grab it better. Maybe. I just think it looks kind of silly. Of course, obviously you have the PS button, and it's downsloping there, and then the obvious differences, which you're all like, oh, haven't you talked about that yet? Yes, that thing in the middle is supposed to be the touchpad, which, cool. No idea what you're going to use that for. That thing is in an awkward as hell position. Like, apparently it's supposed to replace the start and select buttons. Well, great, because I'm good. I don't want to use that when I'm playing Call of Duty. Take my hand off of the controller to get around to it. Like, you literally have to move one of your hands off of the joystick, off of the action buttons or the D-pad, and touch it in that way. Like, that is not convenient at all. Not convenient. Also, if you'll notice, there's a speaker underneath it, which, interesting enough. I don't know what that would be used for, because I really hope they're not planning on using that for, like, mics and talking and shit, because that's just going to be the worst quality ever. Clearly, unless they have some crazy new technology, but it's not good. You're not going to be able to hear anything out of it. You're not going to be able to talk into it much at all, because it's so small, and it's so, your controller's usually away from your face, like, unless you play right in front of you, which you can't see the TV. I don't know, maybe you're weird, but I keep mine in my lap down below, and that's just not a good position for it. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I really don't. I think they're trying a little too hard with it. Again, though, they probably have ideas that are way past, what I'm thinking. But I just think both of those are really awkward for the controller, and I think they're trying to make it more than what it needs to be, which might be good for some people, but whatever. Also, it looks like the red lights on top have been replaced with a blue bar of light. I don't fucking know. Like, that just looks weird. It just looks weird. And again, like, it's rumored to be a prototype. I really hope that's true. Yeah. I don't know what to think of that blue bar. It just looks, again, awkward. That whole center of the controller just looks so, like, thrown in there and unrefined. And I really hope they change it. We haven't seen any pictures of the triggers yet. Apparently they're supposed to resemble more of the real triggers like the Xbox 360 controller, which would make sense because they are seeming to go in that direction of making this controller more like it. The triggers, for some people, they really love the real trigger things. I don't really have a preference. Like, they all feel, the Xbox 360 controllers, they feel pretty natural. The PlayStation controllers feel natural as far as the triggers go. It's really, I don't care. So that's fine to me. You can do it, Sony. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'm be psyched for it, but I just want to wait until the 20th on Wednesday to really see what's going on here. I do hope they change control a little bit. At least they're keeping it somewhat similar to the past. I just hope they have something good in mind for that middle of it, that touchpad and everything, because otherwise it just might flop. And I really don't want to see that happen. Or just be unused. And that's, you hate to have, because of course the controller is going to cost more than $60. I can almost guarantee it with that much more technology on there. So I don't want to have to buy, an $80 controller and like $20 of it, I'm not even going to fucking care about, But let's move away from there a little bit. Also, the PlayStation 4, another rumor that surfaced, is it's supposed to have PS3 cloud streaming gaming. So basically, you're able to stream games from online onto your PlayStation 4, which is good to know, or good to hear, really, if it is true, because that means that there's backwards compatibility, which is obviously one of the biggest issues they had with the PlayStation 3, with the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 backwards compatibility. Obviously, they're going to include backwards compatibility. I'm not saying that it wasn't an option. It was an option, but I'm not saying that they weren't thinking about it, because the PlayStation 3 is still going strong. It's still got plenty of years in its lifespan. They're still going to be making games for it. And if you buy a PS4 and it can't play those games, like, that's just the worst marketing choice ever. Like, okay, second worst marketing choice. First is the lack of used games, but that was last week. That might come up again. It's not for this episode. But it's pretty cool. The whole streaming thing is a decent idea. It's this big push for digital, and I don't really understand why this big push. I mean, it's just the big push for digital is cool. Like, yes, it's the future and stuff, but you're so limited with it, because like on my Vita right now, I've got a 32 gigabyte stick, and I'm starting to run out of space. I like digital because the hard copies of games, every time you load up your Vita, it takes time to like install or load to make sure the game's like still there, some stupid shit. Digital doesn't do that. However, it takes up space. Alright? And you can't have all these games and shit on your device ready to go all the time. As soon as you hit like X amount of games, you're gonna have to like cycle through and be like, oh well, what if I want this one, oh I want to play this game, well, my bad, I deleted to make room for this game last week. That kinda sucks. Granted, you're probably gonna have a big enough hard drive now, you can deal with it. But still, there is that potential problem. I know some people out there are big into buying like everything, and more games you have, more patches for the game, more download content, it all is going to add up in the end. And also, if you're streaming, well, what if you don't have internet around? Or what if the streaming is extremely slow? Here we go again with the needing internet to function and relying too much on technology. It's the same theory as backing up all your shit on a computer. Like, great, you're backing it all up. What happens if you have a power outage and you need to work on something? Or, something like that. You're relying too much on it, and if you don't have the one thing that makes it possible, it's not going to work. The whole system is going to fall apart. And I really wish, they probably realize this, but I really wish they would focus on it more and give more alternatives to it. Maybe the streaming thing, there might be more to it. You can stream, download it on your system and leave it there. I don't know, but if it's just straight up streaming, man, that that might blow pretty hard. Just if your internet sucks and you're trying to just play a game, or anything in that category. It's a good idea. It needs some refining. Wait to see what happens with it. Hopefully, it'll succeed. But let's move on to the Xbox. Again, more rumors are coming out for this thing. They're trying to, in my mind, they're trying to keep up with what Sony's been doing. Getting everyone hyped for the new system and all that. There was a countdown on someone, Microsoft employees, whatever, I forget his name, on his thing, counting down until E3, which, again, everyone's like, oh, it hints to the release of the next Xbox. Well, yeah, you're probably right. But then again, it's also right on E3. Like, I'm counting down until E3. Hell yeah. So, why not, right? You probably are going to see something at E3, but just in case, don't get your hopes up too much, because it might be a big letdown. It might be like, we announced it, giving you 2 years to get the hype up. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just, look out for it. You gotta be aware of these things. Like, I remember this most recent E3, I was expecting big shit, and it was kind of a letdown. That happens. But some of the rumors with the Xbox, obviously they're saying they're going to have a new controller, which is good, like the PlayStation, they're doing it, bringing the technology out. It's going to have a new wireless relating to the Xbox quote-unquote 720, or Durango code name, which means the old controllers won't work. Now, not the worst move in the world. I mean, yes, you want to have, you want the optimum experience, so you're going to make people use the new controller. But then again, what if you don't have the money to buy four different controllers? You want to be able to use the other ones. I'm sure they're going to have like some sort of wired ability to do this, but still, I mean, these are all rumors, and that hasn't been really thought of yet. I'm sure Mac has come out with something, but you need that option for everyone else, because not everyone can go out and buy 4 controllers right off the bat, especially if they're going to be $60 to $80 if they're more expensive with the new technology. I don't know. I like that they're really optimizing it, and this is not just Microsoft and Xbox. This is other companies and everything too. But I really think that they need to keep in mind, okay, this isn't going to work for everyone. We need to work for everyone. We need more options here. So cool, but just keep in mind, like, if there isn't anything out right away, just wait. I'm sure there'll be a cheaper option to use your old controllers. Also, and I think we mentioned this before, but they're saying it's going to require the Kinect to function, which, okay, I don't like that. I'm just going to come out right and say it. They're saying it's going to be voiced in the integrated menu, which is cool, but what if, like, I know my fraternity house, we have an Xbox, and it's loud as hell. Like, that is not going to work. Like, you are just not going to be able to make it function. Obviously, there's probably some opportunity or alternate to it, but man, if you're relying on the Kinect again, you're trying to optimize this whole experience for a new console, but you're forgetting, like, there's a lot of other things that could get in the way with this, a lot of issues. And first, of course, is you need a Kinect, which the rumors are saying that each console is going to be shipped with a Kinect, which means up goes the price. Boom. Positive with a negative, right off the bat. And you may never use a Kinect. You may have a really small room or something. You may never use it again just for the menu. It seems really pointless to try and force that on people like that. And I really don't like it. I'm sure it's going to be really sweet and really cool, and when it works, it's going to be a lot of fun, or easy, or, really efficient. But at the same time, it's not for everyone, and they got to keep that in mind. Like, not everyone wants to spend an extra $100 for a nice new Kinect for the new Xbox when they're not going to use it. It's whatever. Might be trying too hard. Microsoft and Sony here with a few things. One of the really cool things, however, that's rumored for the new Xbox is it's going to be able to run multiple games at once, which I think is awesome. We're moving. It's nothing new for like smartphones and shit, But I mean, even for the Vita, it has it a little bit. You have apps running in the background. You can quickly go to them and stuff like that. For the most part, it's a little rough. A few things connected to the internet kind of break off and don't let you use it, but still, it's there. But for consoles, that's a whole new theory. That's a whole new thing. And if Xbox really pulls ahead with this, that's something awesome. That's something they're going to have with the PlayStation, which might make it more successful. And obviously, it makes sense to me, at least, Microsoft, the whole computer thing, being able to run multiple things at once, that the Xbox would come out with that first. Again, Sony might have it too. We might find out on Wednesday. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, though, here's the other problem is, yes, you have all these multiple games, they have to be on your system though, which means you need a bigger hard drive. And luckily, according to the rumors, there's going to be one style of Xbox being sold with a 500 gig hard drive for installing all those games and different apps and stuff, which is great. It's good to have the options like that. Like what the PlayStation did, where you can buy like a 60 gig or a 20 gig console, which of course is extremely small now. You can see that they've started to realize this and moving it up. But at the same time, if you're trying to optimize the experience and make sure that everyone gets this, doesn't have to complain in the end and gets the right system, making it with one style with 500 gigabyte is a really good way to start off, for sure. So keep an eye on the news, keep an eye on this podcast. When more details surface about the new Xbox and the PlayStation 4, I will definitely report them and hopefully hear you guys' thoughts on it in the comments. And that pretty much does it for the rumors. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on this week, but again, Wednesday the 20th, gonna be a big day for sure. Gonna be blown up, so make sure you come back and check it out. All right, let's move on. Just a little info about the PlayStation Store this week. Again, someone asked me, like, how come you don't do anything about the Xbox Store? It's like, well, I have in the past episodes, but to be honest, like, they don't really have a nice blog or layout to find out what goes live on the Xbox Store. Like, for someone that doesn't have an Xbox and doesn't go through and check it out, like, I don't know. There's a few demos and stuff that's Universal that comes out for it, but it's really difficult to actually see. Like, PlayStation has their nice, this is what came out this week. Xbox, Microsoft, they don't really do that. So I think they should. It'd be nice for people that don't want to go searching through the store to find their thing. They just want to look online and find a nice list. Boom, there you go. First off, before I get into what came out this recent week and that you need to grab ASAP, man, I've got the new store, quote-unquote new store, really needs to be fixed still. They saw some issues with it being not such a lengthy process to go download things. Confirm. Yes, I actually want to do it, confirm. But there's still some issues, and the biggest one is when I went to download the All-Stars DLC this week. I had all the minions and the levels and the characters and stuff, whatever, and I had to download them all, individually. What a pain in the ass. Go through, 100 kilobytes each. Didn't even, not even worth, downloading the background and stuff like that, but I had to, accept each individual one to download them. Add a freaking download all option. You've got to be fucking kidding me. I can't believe you don't have that in there. Just add it, because it's common sense. The other thing, which really pisses me off, and I've been saying since day one, is when I'm looking for what's new this week, I don't want to go through 50 fucking SingStar songs about, or Rock Band or some fucking game that I'll have, or avatars or shit. Group it. That's what you did in the past. Group it into, here's all the DLC for this game, here's the new themes, here's the new avatars. I don't want to fucking try and look through that shit. The search option is just crap. You have to search starting each letter. You can't even type everything in fast. It's retarded. God, just it's so frustrating. It makes so much sense to everyone who uses it, except for Sony. Group things together in the new content so people can be like, oh, I don't have that game. I'm going to go down one thing instead of down 50 things to find shit that I do have. Great. All right, leaving that alone. Twisted Metal, with its 1-year anniversary being out, has a sale going on this past week, and it's going to end on the 19th of February, which is this Tuesday. So if you're listening to this after Tuesday, you missed it. Sorry, but make sure you grab it, because Twisted Metal is an awesome game. I have plenty of videos on it. So the new one, of course, there's also Twisted Metal Black, and the original Twisted Metal are also on sale. But the new Twisted Metal, there's a bundle, I think it was, for $40 for all three of them. Grab it, or just the new one, Twisted Metal 2011 or 2012. My bad, I know years. Grab it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. Support it, for the love of God. It's so good, and especially if it's on sale. Also, in case you haven't grabbed it, Closure is free for PlayStation Plus, and you've been seeing some gameplay on that already. It's a really creepy game. Why? Because there's no story, and there's no colors, and it's just creepy-ass music. It's a puzzle game, as you've seen earlier in this video, or maybe right now. I don't know where I'm going to place it. Wherever there's light, the environment exists, and when there isn't light, it doesn't exist. You can fall through it. I love puzzle games. This game is a lot of fun. Just add it to your download list. Don't even have to play it now. Play it later, because you're definitely going to want to. For PlayStation Plus members only, again, it's free. It's great. Puzzle games are a lot of fun. Also, Equilibrium is free for the Vita this week, and maybe longer, but I doubt it. So if it's after the 19th, I'm sorry you missed it, but be on top of your shit. Grab it if you have a PlayStation Vita, because while it seems like a really weird concept, that's because it is, and it's a lot of fun. Like, I grabbed it and I was like, okay, we'll see what's going on here. And there's a nice, very nice, lengthy tutorial section, but makes it entertaining, and it gives you rewards for doing the tutorials. And what it is it's basically this alien universe that you go into, and you can populate a small area with different trees and animals, fungi and stuff like that, and you make it so like it's habitable. So you have a tree, and these creatures eat fruit off the tree, but the tree needs water, so you have to give a plant that makes water, and you can balance it. And there's challenges, and you can like make your own thing, and there's different things you can buy for cheap off the store. It's really cool. It's a really nice concept, and it's a lot of fun, in my personal opinion, because you don't have to constantly be on it. It's a game where you have a specific amount of things you can do in a certain time. Like, you have a certain battery life of how many creatures you can create, and you have to wait for a while and come back, which is nice because you're not going to spend hours at a time on this game. It's something you can, go play twice a day, mess with a few things, come back, and the game keeps progressing while you're not playing. While your Vita's off, it's real time. So things actually happen, and you come back and you're like, oh, well, this happened. Okay, cool. I can fix that, or I can improve this now, or make more creatures. It's really kind of cool. There isn't a whole lot of creatures and stuff you can do with it right away, and it's going to take some time to build it up. But then again, it's a more casual game, and I think it's really cool. Also, again, though, what some people may be worried is that it's the real time. Well, there is a pause option. So if you're going on vacation or something, and you're not going to be able to use it, just hit pause and resume when you come back, which is sweet. But there aren't many of those games anymore where it's this real-time thing where it's not meant to be played all in one sitting. You play a little bit and you come back later in the day. It's really cool. I like stuff like that. It's just it's something to do before you go to bed, which is, I think it's really nice. Also this week and next week is more Skyrim DLC. Again, it's 50% off, so make sure you grab it. I think we have one more week left. We have this week that came out, and then on the 19th, there's going to be more DLC that comes out. So 3 packs total. Grab them all. Good stuff. Skyrim's pretty awesome. That pretty much does it, actually, for the podcast. We're running up on 40 minutes. Like I said, it's going to be short. And as I always have done in the past, I like to do a community shout-out. And again, no one has sent me anything, which is whatever. I do have gotten a few ideas from a buddy of mine, Dagger. Shout out to her. She watched all my podcasts in a day and loved them and gave me tons of criticism. You can see all sort of comments and stuff in the previous podcast videos. She's hilarious and great. She had a few ideas for the community, so I might throw those around a little bit. But for this week, I'm putting a link in the description to check out the SSX fan site, Mercury City. SSX came out last year. Very awesome game. EA just did such a good job with it. It looks amazing. It's so much fun to play. There's so much content. In fact, I just bought it for my brother for Christmas, and he's been playing it, and he loves it. And shout out to him if he's watching this, which he isn't, but whatever. It's a lot of game for your money, especially since it's so cheap now, since it's been out for a while. And this SSX fan site really does a good job with keeping it alive. They've got tons of people that are really dedicated to the game over there, that are willing to get on with you, show you, tips, shortcuts, stuff like that. They're still doing montages. It's a really cool site. Definitely head on over there. It's a great community. Check them out. Check the game out. It's really good. So before I end, just some reminders. The Final Fantasy games are 50% off still. Ending soon though, so hop on that. Definitely going to want to grab, if you want any sort of Final Fantasy game, now would be the time to buy it. 50% off on the PlayStation Network. Also, and this ends in March, if you buy 1 year of PlayStation Plus, you get 3 months for free. So buy 50, get 17 free. $17. I mean, really good deal. I will be hitting that up. I just keep saying that every week, and I haven't done it yet, but I will. And again, that ends in March, so if you thought you're on the borderline with PlayStation Plus, now would be a good time to do it. Just drop the money on it. Again, you get Equilibrium, or Closure, my bad, free for right now, as well as tons of other games. And if you have a Vita, it's even more. Like, as soon as you buy PlayStation Plus, drop the 50 on it, or even like 3 months to 17, you will instantly get all your money back and then some within about 10 minutes of downloading things. It's such a good deal. And finally, some people have not really complained, but mentioned that they'd like to have an alternate to watching or listening to the podcast. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll look into it a little bit. And I looked into it, and I was like, well, okay, I know you can put podcasts on iTunes, and I don't really know any other service because I'm new to this and I haven't seen much else except for people doing it on iTunes. And I was like, okay, not a bad idea. I'll try it out. And then I was reading up, and I was looking into it, and I remember some things from the past, and it takes a while for stuff to get published, I guess you could say, on iTunes. And I'm not. That doesn't really work for my podcast. You know, for most podcasts, you want them to be out and recent so you can listen to them right away. Because otherwise, you're listening to shit that's 2 weeks late, and you know the whole world could change in that 2 weeks. So what I'm going to be doing for you guys is it's a little inconvenient, but it's also a little convenient at the same time. Right? Think about that. I'm going to be providing the MP3 files for all of these in the description for each podcast. You can download them when you're at home, put them on your MP3 or phone or whatever, and listen to them if you're at work or whenever you have time. Yeah, it's a little inconvenient because you got to actually download it, probably from a computer or something like that. But at the same time, if you're playing a little bit in advance, it's going to work out all right for you. And then you can kind of do your ninja swag at work and listen to my sexy voice talk to you and stuff. So keep an eye out for those. I will have all of the previous podcasts up in this video's description as well as the previous ones. So look for those, and it's going to be out there for every week after that as well. That is pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching this short podcast. And I say short, but actually it's pretty decent for how much shit there was this week, which wasn't much. Keep in mind that the 20th, this Wednesday, I've said it so many times, the PlayStation 4, most likely PlayStation 4 announcement is going to be out, and I will give you so much details, as much as I can, in my impressions. Man, I need to stop this shit. First impressions of the announcement and everything after that on Wednesday night. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. And when you watch that video, let me know what you think in the comments, including this one. So thank you again for watching, guys. Wednesday, keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye on all the rumor mills for the new consoles and everything. It's going to be a good start of the year with E3 coming up, and I cannot wait to share some news with you guys. So like, comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching again, guys. Take it easy.